All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the a new day of the E-Meet Your Design and Fashion School. Today, there's a very interesting topic. Of course, for those of you who have not joined us before or who are joining us for the first time, the purpose of this particular series is for you to be introduced and interact with the top management of a design school, and that you only consider a few design schools, not all design schools. You keep your options to some of the private design schools and fashion schools in India, and you do not apply to all the design schools at all. Apply only to a few selected schools of your choice. For those of you who have not, who are joining us for the first time, we've done previous webinars on creating your portfolio, on the perfect SOP, and we've done a series on the top private design and fashion schools to consider in 2024. Do join, click on these WhatsApp links to join our groups. It's going to be very useful to you. And one of those schools that we've mentioned as the top private design and fashion school is MIT Institute of Design, the Loni campus, Pune. Now, we've already met with the indoor campus, and today we have Professor Dr. Nachiket Thakur, who's the director of MIT Institute of Design, and he heads the MIT ADT University campus at Pune, right? And there's a lot of questions that have been asked. Pune, this campus, that campus. The MIT structure is a little confusing for a lot of parents. So all those questions can be cleared off today. A reminder for those of you who would like to apply to MIT ID, the Pune campus, please click on this particular application link. And of course, they've been listed on DQ Edge as well. All this information is in the description of this YouTube webinar. You can access it from this. Dr. Nachiket, thank you so much for joining in. Looking forward to what you have to say.
Thank you. So I think you will have to
allow screen sharing. It's already allowed. You can share your screen. Yes, it's visible. You can put it on.
Is it visible?
Yes, you can put it on presentation.
Yeah. So very good evening to all of you. Thank you for joining at this hour on knowing what a design school is, and I would be very happy to share with you what our institute, which is under MIT Art, Design and Technology University, located in Pune. It's a state private university where we have multiple levels of education which is imparted from 18 different institutions. So we at MIT ADT University are very proud to say that since our inception in 2016, the university was started in 2016, as is the case of many private universities in the country. We were among the first to transform ourselves into an independent design school, from an independent design school to a university. And as is the need of any private university in India, we are now in the process of getting a lot of accreditations, a lot of rankings which generally are a testimony to the level of education, the kind of education, the quality of education which we impart. So this on the right hand side is our design institute building, and on the left is what we on our campus. We have a very big library and a auditorium, which is this, just to showcase what our location is. And within this particular university, we have around 18 different schools, uh, divided into these two clusters. One is a technology and management cluster, and the other is the creative cluster. The reason for showing you this is that you are part of a we are part of a cross-disciplinary education. So we have this as a basket of different institutes which we represent under the MIT Art, Design and Technology University. And MIT Institute of Design is one amongst them, which is the oldest on this campus. So we started in our institute in 2006. We were among the first private institutions to start design learning uh, in 2006. So our legacy goes back to 2006. Our university was formed 10 years later, and that's how our legacy is. So now 17 years, 18th batch is just got in this year, in the field of design. As a university, we have a very strong vision for creating uh, an amalgamation of art, design, and technology for the learners to understand all these aspects, which helps in uh, transformative impact on society through holistic education, multidisciplinary research, and entrepreneurial culture. So that's how our broad vision stands for. With that vision, I think one of the important aspect which we all are very proud about is any student who joins in, we have a strong ecosystem which helps in creating new innovations, new designs. And for that, we have a very strong ecosystem in place where we help our students to convert their ideas into reality in very detailed process driven approach, which helps a student, in any student who joins in the first year as well, to create things which he or she aspires to. So we help our students to create their projects, their products, their services into uh, a tangible product. That is what Kriya is all about. And after that, we also help the students to create their idea into a venture. So that is through the Atal Incubation Center, which helps students to take things forward with respect to their ventures. So right from their idea on the sketchboard to something of a company, corporate company, which we help students to take forward. And we give them a seed funding, we give them inputs which are probably not in one domain. It can be any domain, with which you look at uh, things to be done, from taking a idea to reality, to the market. So that's our base of what our university is all about. I'll quickly take you through what MIT Institute of Design is, which is, as I told you, part of the university. We are here to create and nurture a ecosystem to develop future ready professionals, which are more job creators than job seekers, uh, and help the students to develop a perspective which is using cutting edge technology. So that's the key uh, difference in what our university would give everyone. So just to give you आवाज थोड़ा कमी करो सर. Uh, just to give you a brief history of what our university is all about. As I told you, we started in 2006. It's started from one of the best design minds of the country. There are 11 disciplines which we have. under PG, UG programs. We have around 70 plus faculty, which is permanent faculty, and almost similar number of faculties which come in as adjunct or visiting faculties. We have very good state-of-art labs, maker spaces. We do design consultancy projects, and our degrees are globally recognized. So almost 50% of our students who go out for doing their masters are absorbed in design schools all across the globe. So that's what we have been able to create our legacy in. Just to give you a brief glimpse of what our infrastructure looks like, from labs with the latest softwares and hardwares to a very strong library, uh, tools of doing design, digital design, physical prototyping work, 3D printing, AR, VR setups. I think all these are very much in place and available to the students right from their inception. So whenever they join, uh, all these facilities are available for students to take up. Uh, some more glimpses of our facility, right from having a very strong audiovisual environment, filmmaking, making movies, making presentations. I think we are very strong in uh, creating movies and using the various tools which are required for representing any design in any of the design fields which you can think of. Uh, as you all know, the way design education works is more from a explorative experience side. So the students are given freedom to express their uh, projects in their own way, depending upon what the project is and what the particular student is interested in. He can pick up a medium to present. So they do skits, they do project displays, uh, which helps them to showcase their work to their peers, also their seniors and juniors, or the students who want to learn more about things. So just a glimpse of some project displays which generally happen. We have a very strong fashion design school within our establishment, and the kind of facilities which we make available for showcasing their work. This is our annual graduation fashion show, which brings in people together from who's who of the fashion industry, and we provide the exact environment which the industry in the fashion world uh, gives the graduates or the people who work in the industry. Whatever they see there, I think a similar kind of environment is available for them to experience and learn, so that they are market ready when they move out of the institute in the profession. Just to summarize in terms of what we have, so around 1600 plus student strength. We work in 4 verticals between industrial, communication, fashion, and experience. We have 9 BDES programs, around 11 MDES programs, and of course a PhD program. Uh, we have around 15 plus international collaborations where students go for internships, go for student exchanges, even projects. We also have a semester exchange program in our 6th semester. So these international collaborations are from that perspective, and there are almost around 25 to 30 students opt for this particular option of studying abroad in the 6th semester. Also in the summer internship period, students go out in these universities abroad. We have around 500 plus industries on board to work on industry ready projects, live briefs, which helps the students to understand what the things are needed in the industry. And as a campus, we have around 125 acres of residential campus. We are very proud to be located in on the land which belongs to Raj Kapoor. This is the Rajbagh campus, where Raj Kapoor uh, made many films on this campus. This was his studio plus his house, and there's a big museum of his works which we have put together. So it's a very historical place for a creative university. Just to give you a brief of what kind of courses we offer, programs we offer under these verticals which I talked about. So, under industrial design, we have interior space and furniture, product, retail, transportation. These are all courses with BDES and MDES. And we have immersive media design, which is only for the uh, MDES program, which is a very strong point of our institute. Another strong point of what we are very proud of is the communication design vertical, which has animation, film and video, and graphic design. Uh, User experience design uh, is a stream which maximum uh, opportunities lie these days, and we are fully geared up to take up that education for our students. As I told you earlier, we have a very strong fashion design school, which offers two programs for BDES: fashion design and fashion communication. We have very strong management uh, support for in management education, which is design management and fashion management and marketing. We have two uh, diploma programs. One is the automotive sculpting, which is the digital and industrial clay, and we run a PG diploma in innovation. So this is our all the courses which we offer. Just a glimpse of our team, which manages these disciplines. We generally work on these principles. So just to let you know that the ideology with which we work at MIT Institute of Design was formulated by Mr. H. Kumar Vyas, who was also incidentally the in the team of people who started National Institute of Design, and he was also part of uh, our founding members of MIT Institute of Design when the team was formulated in 2004, uh, which created this ideology of sadhan, sadhana, and sadhya, which help the students to learn the skills and tools to help students to self-explore and work on the tools and the problem at hand, and do dedicated practice of learning, which helps to create uh, the solutions, which is based upon the core values of empathy. Uh, so these are the three broad pillars of what our education system is based upon. As is the case in many design schools, we have block learning as a method of instruction. So it is typically based upon the Gurukul way of learning, where the students are exposed to a lot of immersion, which they go through. They are uh, told to look into the problem areas, the environment, and learn from experience, along with our experienced mentors and mentors from the industry, so that they get a very good view of what to expect and how to uh, indulge in the learning process. So that's what block teaching is all about, and our evaluation is, of course, by way of juries. So this is just to give you a brief peek into our learning ideology. This is the way we do evaluation assessment. I think this can be skipped. We'll see it as we go move forward. We have a very strong uh, with all these background of the learning ideology. I think one of the important aspects which is needed in any learning centers is to look at how there are different avenues created, for students to explore and learn. So these are the things, these are the centers of excellences which we have created on our campus, uh, which help students to pick and choose and indulge themselves and learn as they move on. So maybe automotive sculpting, mixed media experiences, material research labs, bamboo studio. There's specific center for design for children, to learn the different crafts of the Indian tradition, and indulge in contemporary work, which the design students get to uh, support these artisans. So we do many things on the craft side, and of course there are many other centers of excellences which help the overall development of a student in the field of design. We have a lot of support functions where we help students to have their design journey charted out in a proper way, where student section helps them to uh, make their design learning experience better. Of course, exam section to evaluate and do things, evaluate things in a particular way. Uh, these days, as is the physical health, mental health is also very important. So we have a very strong team of mental health practitioners, which helps the students to support themselves in any kind of agonizing movements which they might have, and of course a very strong maker space to look into. Uh, as we have very strong academic background, we also indulge in a lot of serious fun activities, where there are events and conferences um, at the university level, at the institute level. So this is just a brief peek into the numerous programs which we have, which helps the overall growth of a child or a student into a winning personality. In addition to being a good designer, he's also exposed to all these kind of events and clubs which the students run, different celebrations on campus, which helps them to cross learn from each other, because they are students from all across the country and also from abroad, which helps them to indulge themselves in whatever they would like to seek from the institute. I think this is a brief of what our university is all about. Uh, at this point, I think I should uh, take up any queries which you have, and if there are anything specific, I can uh, pull up a presentation according to whatever the uh, query is. So thank you for patient hearing, and I'll be glad to take any kind of questions if there are any. Thank you so much.
Sure, sure, sure. Thank you so much, Dr. Nachiket. That was a very interesting presentation, and to a large extent, I've visited the MIT campus at Pune. It was very impressive, and particularly I liked the product design, transportation design studios. I thought that was absolutely excellent in terms of the infrastructure and the facilities available for the students. Yeah, but if we can go, backtrack a little bit right to the beginning of this presentation, your focus was, or what made your institution unique is the ecosystem that you'll have created to make job creators, right? I think that's a very evolved system that you'll have created. Now, the question I have for you is, what percentage of students actually, tend to become job creators once they're done with the program?
Okay, there are two levels, if I may uh, answer this in two sections. One part is where students, when they are on campus for 4 years, they get to indulge in creating their uh, objects of desire, or their ventures of desire. So that is one area where they are able to do a dipstick. Students are able to do a dipstick for whether they are made for being job creators. So that is a very strong ecosystem which we have, uh, of which, to be very honest, around 10 to 15% of students, which is the earlier statistics, which start a venture on campus itself. So that we feel is a very strong point. So not after graduating, because of these ecosystem which we have, they have a venture even when they are on campus. So we have students which start their entrepreneurial journey in the second year itself. And another system which we have put in place is they are supported by the faculties. So for example, we have many startups which are run by faculty as well as students on the campus itself. So that is around 10 to 15%, and around 15% more uh, get added when they go out. So they don't. For example, our placement cell, the people who seek jobs are not more than 50 to 60%. So right from their inception to say maybe by the time they reach the fourth year, they already made up their mind, and they go into their own venture, whether it is a consulting venture or a manufacturing venture, immediately after they go out from here. So I think that's a very important aspect which we are very proud of.
Yep. Very interesting. I think that's important as well. And, I keep talking about this, that the ecosystem created is very crucial, right? Not only within the campus, but also outside the campus in terms of the city that you are located in and the
Yeah, yeah,
access to industry.
yes.
Uh, okay, so I'll go on to some of the questions. Quite a few questions on YouTube. So Nitin Agarwal is saying there were two links of WhatsApp groups. So Nitin, that was the DQ Labs WhatsApp groups. Um, if you are part of so the description of this webinar has the link to the presentation, so you can click on that link and get access to those WhatsApp groups, and you can get it there. All right. Sir Vasudev Prabhu saying there's some background noise. I'm not sure if you can do anything about that, but if there's something that you can do, that would be great.
Yeah, I'm just doing that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Abhilasha Mathur is asking regarding the student exchange program, is there any selection criteria for students to participate in that?
Yes, yes. So we do have a selection criteria
I'm sorry, I got
Yeah,
disconnected.
yeah. So um, um, for the student exchange programs, we definitely have a criteria which depends upon two things. One is the CGPA, the marks which you attain in the semester uh, 5 till semester 5. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, you
Yeah.
can go ahead.
So the first criteria is whatever marks the student gets in the till the fifth semester is one criteria. then there is a portfolio which is assessed by us and assessed by that particular institution.
Yes. I don't know whether you got disconnected or whether I got disconnected.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you said one is the performance of the students from up to semester 5, and the second aspect
is a portfolio.
Okay.
So the student should not have failed in any of the courses till 5th semester, plus their marks, CGPA, and the portfolio. And with this, we select internally first, then we send the portfolio and the details to the university whom they wish to go. They also select. So there's a two-way selection process. So it's not only upon us.
All right. And of course, these students get, so there's limited students who get a chance to even go abroad and participate in this, right?
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Rohini Gade is asking, how is the branch allocation done at MIT Pune? So do students get to select their specialization right in the beginning, or do they have to join a general?
I'll explain.
Then, yeah.
I'll explain. So the way we do it here is we have a common foundation. So for the bachelor's program, when students join, they join as foundation students. So they don't get selected in a discipline. So there is an entire semester where they learn common things. And at the end of the semester, with whatever their output is of these 6 courses which they do in the first semester and their interest, we help them to pick up their verticals.
Okay. All right. I think I've lost Dr. Nachiket again. All right. Seems like we've lost Dr. Nachiket. Yes.
Sorry, I think I got disconnected. So I just try quickly repeat. So the students join in as foundation students, where there is no discipline allocated. They go through that one semester, which is common. So of the 5 courses which they do in the first semester, the output of that plus their individual interest, we counsel them to pick up a vertical. So they either pick up industrial vertical, communication vertical, or user experience vertical. And with that, they go into the second semester. The second semester is a vertical foundation. So if a particular student selects industrial, so he will be we will be taking him through whatever is needed for the industrial vertical. At the end of the second semester, the student picks up the specialization which he or she wants to get in. So under industrial, he can take up product design, transportation design, retail and exhibition design, and furniture and interior space design. So these are the 4 specializations which he picks up. So in the 3rd year, his specialization starts. Similarly for user experience and communication vertical. That's how these things are spaced. For fashion specifically, because it is a specific oriented course, the entire foundation for 2 semesters goes alongside fashion only, and the fashion thing continues in the 3rd and 4th after the 3rd semester. But the fashion students get into the 1st semester for fashion directly. So these are the 2 types of things which we have for getting into a specific specialization at MIT Institute of Design.
All right. All right. So I hope that's clear to Rohini Gade and everyone else. So the April's asking, so in the exams or the evaluations of this of the students, it happens in a jury format, or are they like exams, or is it only the jury?
It is jury format. I just mentioned in my presentation, it is a jury format. There is no pen and paper exam. There is nothing to mug up because everything is project based. So it is the evaluation happens only through jury.
All right. Akhil Goel is asking, what are the facilities available for film and video? Now, I know that maybe if you could briefly explain the facility infrastructure.
So for the film and video specialization, whatever it takes to, so first of all, let me tell you that our location is a film location. It has a legacy of Raj Kapoor. There are many films which have been shot here. And the reason why the Kapoor family had entrusted this particular location to us was with the brief that you should have film and video as a mainstay of the education process. So we have probably the biggest studio for shooting films on campus. We have a 5-storied high studio which we can shoot an entire web series or a TV series or even a film. We have a best of the cameras, recording equipment, sound equipment to create a feature film. So short films and documentaries is normal. So as a setup, we have all the wherewithal to create a feature film. I think that explains the level of expertise and the equipments which we have.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. Rohini Gade is asking, is there a hostel inside the campus?
Yes, there is a hostel. There's a 1,000-bed hostel inside the campus, just behind the academic building. So it is just 50 meters away. So the student walk into our academic building just crossing one road.
Yeah,
it is inside the campus. But to be very honest, it is for 1,000 people, and we have 1,600. So there are some students who have to stay around the campus, but the ecosystem has developed very nicely. We have our own hostels managed by us, which are just on the boundary of our compound wall. So technically, they are not inside the campus, but they are managed by us, which are just around the campus. For those who don't get, for those who don't not in that 1,000, they have to move out. There are senior students who move out by choice, but almost 75% of the first year students get the hostel facility, which is inside the campus.
Yeah. So just to put things in perspective, put scales in perspective, how big is your overall university? The size.
The campus?
Yeah.
It is 125 acres.
125 acres. So yeah. So 125 acres, 18 schools. So that's the reason why you'll have a 1,000 bed hostel.
Correct.
Campus, right? So yeah. So it's a massive space and facility that they have there. Right. So There's questions on the fee structure. I'll come down to that. We'll ask a few other questions. Veera Raghavan is asking, can you elaborate on the BDES product design program?
Okay. So see, generally it is very vast to explain right now, but our website has all the details, all 8 semesters, what courses. So we have pretty open about it. The entire course structure is elaborated on our website. It is broadly a mix of what you do in the mind and what you do with the hand. So skills and the thought process both are very nicely intertwined with each other. There are numerous immersion programs where students go out in the society to collect data, to learn about what is needed, to do need finding. So it's a very good mix of what one can learn in product design or for that matter any design discipline. And specific details, please, I will suggest, please visit our website. You will get all the details which you need.
Raghavan, please go through that. Also, Swati and I have personally visited the campus, and we do think that the product design, transportation design departments, furniture design departments, probably one of the best in India, right? Of all the design schools, it's fantastic. Yeah. So Priya is asking. So there's questions regarding the fee structure and admission process. All right. Before we come down to that, I'll just take one question. Could you explain the quota for students from within the state and outside the state?
Okay. So as per the government norms, it is 60-40. So we take in students 60% from the state and 40% outside the state.
All right. And if students are from outside the state, does a domicile certificate, is that sufficient, or
Yeah,
a birth certificate, is that sufficient? Yeah.
Domicile is
So
what.
Priya,
Yeah.
okay, Priya, my suggestion is that you go, during the application process, we've posted the application link. Go through that application link and, make all the clarifications you need at the time, because it's very important. The question you're asking is very important, right? Could you elaborate on the admission process? Quite a few people have asked about this. Nikhil has asked,
So
others have asked. Yeah.
So one first clarification is that we have multiple design schools under the MIT umbrella. So whatever I will be saying is directly related to MIT Institute of Design, Loni, Pune. So Loni is the local name of this place, and it comes under Pune Municipal Corporation. So that's where we have been there for last 17 years. The process of that is when you register into the process of the getting into MIT. We have a proctored online exam. We have a tie-up with TCS. So at 7 different centers across the country, the students have to appear for a proctored online exam, which is a mix of objective and subjective questions. There are a couple of past question papers which are there online. Please see that and understand what the type of questions are there. By choice, you will not see any trend in the question papers. They are by design different, so you will not see that there is is saal aaya to the same thing will come later. So there's no structure per se. We generally want it that way because we want the intuitiveness of the student to come out, their creativity to come out. So we try and frame the question in such a way that we understand how a person is able to express his or her creativity and the thought process which he is going through. So that is what is a brief background of what the test is. It is more to do with aptitude. We are not trying to test the knowledge in terms of whatever you have mugged up. whatever you remember. So that's not the case. We don't ask questions of formulas and mathematics or history or so something which you need to remember. So very less kind of that. So that happens somewhere in this year. It will happen in around February. Last year, around 6,000 students appeared for this exam, of which around 1,200 students we selected for the second round, which is necessary to be done on campus. On campus, there are two stages. One is the studio test, which lasts for 2 hours. So we give them one problem to work on, and they have to create that solution individually. And then on the second half of that day, we have a interview and portfolio evaluation round. So that's how the second phase is. Through this, we select around around 350 students. That's our capacity of intake, and that's how we have the merit list, and we take in students accordingly. And very rarely we need to initiate a waiting list, but if needed, there's a waiting list which is there. So that's the broad process. Timeline wise, our process ends in May, and our college starts, even during COVID, it started on 17th of July. So third week start is what our college starts.
All right, that's great. So that has answered quite a few questions, including what is the number of your intake and all that. So very clearly described. They have an admission process, 2-stage process, a test, as well as a studio test where you have to go to their campus, and 6,000 applications, 1,200 are called for the studio test, and from that they select 350. Very interesting. So the question from Keshavan Belgod is Keshavan, is USEED considered, or is it only by the MIT?
No, it's only by our design aptitude test, which is called DAT. The entire process is very clearly explained on our website also. So please go through that in detail. We don't accept any other scores or entrance exams for admissions at MIT Institute of Design, Loni, under MIT Art, Design and Technology University.
Right. So based on that, in terms of the admission process, do you all require a portfolio?
Yes, so portfolio is required after the studio test. When we have our interview, portfolio review definitely happens, and portfolio is required.
All right. So Ayush Tiwari, hope your question has been answered. A question from Jyoti Krishnamurthy, who's asking, is if students graduate from NIOS board, are they eligible for MIT ID, Pune?
Yes.
Yeah. So absolutely perfect. No problem with NIOS board. So you can go ahead on that. The fee structure, if you could elaborate a little bit on the fee structure, and also the scholarship opportunities.
So again, the detail, last digit detail fee structure is available on our website. Generally, our tuition fee is around 4,75,000. The hostel and mess is extra for 4 years. We don't offer any scholarship at the entry level. We only have a scholarship now because of the government of India, Maharashtra regulation. We have a scholarship for economically weaker sections. So 10% of our intake, we give scholarships to the deserving candidates under the economically weak section, EWS, as per the government of Maharashtra norms. So we do have a scholarship, but that you get after you join, not when you enter.
All right. Cool. So pretty much all the questions asked, except for the placement support system for fashion degree students, for fashion design students. So this is a question from Vasudev Prabhu, and a few others who are talking about placement support in general and
Yeah.
and specifically the fashion design.
Yes. So we have a very strong, elaborate process for placements, and around 3,000 companies are listed with us, which the interaction with the industry starts at the end of the sixth semester when they go for internships. That's where the first interaction starts, and that's where they get hooked on to the industry exposure. Then in the last semester they go for their graduation project internships. That's also almost 25-30% of the kids get absorbed directly after their internships of the grad project in the last semester, and that's a normal process. For fashion, last year we had around 35 specific companies which were there only for fashion design, which gave very good grad projects and also absorbed people. Uh, of the Specifically to fashion design, of the 48 students who graduated last year, I'm just giving you last year's figures. 50% started their own labels. So from the rest of the 50%, those of you who needed a particular type of job, they got it. What happens generally, to be very honest, is that there are very few kids who do fashion design are open to go anywhere in the world. They have their priorities listed out कि मुझे गुड़गांव एरिया में जॉब चाहिए या बैंगलोर में चाहिए या चेन्नई में चाहिए या बॉम्बे पुणे में चाहिए. So those kind of things needs to be worked out accordingly, the way the need of the student is. But more or less they get that opportunities to choose from.
All right. That's great. Yeah. So a couple of questions have been answered already. But Minal Agarwal is asking, what are the number of seats in fashion design? Of course, like they all have a limit on the number of seats per stream.
Yes. So the fashion, there's a seat intake of 50.
Okay.
For the fashion discipline, which then further gets bifurcated into fashion communication and fashion design. But the intake is 50.
Okay. And overall number of seats is 300. That means 350. So 300 seats for the other.
400. Totally 400. 350 for non-fashion and 50 for fashion.
Okay. Does that include the PG or PG is separate?
Sorry?
Does that include the PG programs or PG programs are separate?
PG is separate. This I'm only talking about bachelor's programs.
Okay. All right. Minal Agarwal is asking, when's the second round, the campus interview? So that happens in April, May. That's what I understand, right?
Yes.
The second round. Yeah.
Yes.
Nikhil's asking, do you need to choose a specialization at the time of application, or do you have a foundation program? Again, the questions.
I explained it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I explained it quite elaborately.
Yeah. So Nikhil, if you can go back a little bit and watch this webinar again.
But just to quickly answer, no, you don't have to select a specialization when you enter. That's the single line answer.
Yeah. Okay. Akhil Goel is asking, your website says that the DAT is for all campuses, right?
Yeah.
So some clarity if you can add to that.
Sure. So DAT, the exam is applicable for two more schools under MIT. One is Shillong and second is Avantika University in Indore, Ujjain. So this exam is for 3 locations, and one more location will get added is Solapur. There's a new university coming up in Solapur. So these 4 institutions, Shillong, Ujjain, Solapur and Loni, that exam is applicable for all these 4 places.
Okay. So, hold on. So hope that clarifies the questions. Vishwanath, the fee structure has been discussed. You could go onto the website and have a look at that for the detailed fee structure, but approximately 4,75,000 plus the hostel. And Deepti R is asking, are there foreign exchange programs for fashion design? Are there foreign exchange programs for all your streams or
All our streams. All our
so
streams.
including fashion design? Deepti RP, hope that answers your question. And we have uh, answered all questions possible. No more questions are there. So if you enjoyed this webinar, kindly hit the like button. That helps motivate all of us. And Dr. Nachiket Thakur, thank you so much for taking the trouble to come
Thank you
out
so
here.
much. I would like to conclude by saying that everyone is invited to visit our campus. I would suggest before you take the plunge, you should visit us, see for yourself, and then decide to join.
Absolutely. I think that makes a huge difference. So we too are advocating that everyone has to visit campuses and you know that's when you get a flavor of each campus. So very important point you mentioned, Dr. Nachiket. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you out here
Same here.
and looking forward to more interactions with you.
Wonderful. Definitely.
All
Thank you
right.
so much. Have a
Thank you.
wonderful evening.